Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Smash that like button. Do not forget to do that, man. And also, if you can, we really need you to support the channel, man. So please buy a hoodie. It really does help. It is hoodie season anyways. And I think it's a decent looking hoodie. So let's get into it. Jim Jones went on The Breakfast Club. And he kind of slightly addressed, his issue with 50 Cent. His whole thing with Tekashi and, his album. And do not forget, while we're talking about this, I will say it didn't do crazy numbers because I don't think he got the right push. But the album is crazy. I mean, you know me. I'll tell you if I hate something, I don't like something. I really do like this album. Jim Jones probably has one of the better albums coming out of New York right now. So make sure you go stream that because it is good. You got to appreciate good music. It's really good, but it didn't break 1 million streams on any song on Spotify, which isn't good. So that usually transfers to every platform. So go show Jim Jones some support because he did put a lot of work on that album. And you got Heatmakers on there. And, that's that special Dipset sauce. Anyways, and speaking of that, he has a whole brand called Saucy. He's in the cannabis industry. So anyways, Mel Murda was his friend / almost like family. He got caught up and they got caught on some phone calls, Jim Jones. And they tried to introduce that in the case. We know that. And then 50 Cent jumped the gun off of a non-credible source on the internet and called Jim Jones basically a rat, okay? Or that he was working with him. And he said, you can't trust anybody nowadays. Now, Jim Jones reacted to this on The Breakfast Club, and he said, back where I'm from, there's consequences for trying to tarnish somebody's name. I wouldn't have gone that route with it. I just wouldn't have answered. I know, Jim Jones can't help himself. Jim Jones has always voiced his opinion. He gave no comment on the Tekashi situation, but did wish his bro Mel Murda, to hold his head and everything. That was one of his close friends. He was signed to Bird Gang. But yeah, Jim Jones also, he didn't comment on the Tekashi thing. He didn't comment on the 50 thing totally, but he gave a warning in a sense. There's consequences for that. His friend Todd, that I guess runs Saucy with him, kept trying to a lot of people want that spotlight, and you could tell that he really wanted to talk more on there. But, it's better not to talk about this kind of stuff, He also commented on his house being foreclosed on. It made sense, he said he owed more on it than it was worth, And that was a big problem back in 2008 and 2007. I don't know when they bought it. That's always when you buy property, you don't want to pay more for something. Like, this is why I hate real estate agents. So when you go around with them, they're like, oh yeah, it's a good value, It's a good value for the moment, but if the market falls out, you're stuck holding, say you spent $500,000 on a house, and you saw the lowest it was worth 4 or 5 years ago was, $350. If the market falls out again, and it's worth $350, then it settles at $400, and you have a banknote for $500. You're going to lose $100,000. So sometimes even though it's horrible for your credit, it depends how he bought it. He could have bought it under a business name, and he could have let that business's credit go under, and they've probably foreclosed on it. So, he tied up some loose ends there. 50 Cent, we'll see what goes on with that. 50 Cent might respond or not. It seems like they really just don't get along anymore. Anyways, make sure you go stream El Capo. I play it all the time, and I think it's a really great album. And, I don't believe it got... if he says he's dropping new music, I wouldn't drop new music. I would double down on this album and shoot more music videos for it and spend more marketing dollars on it. I mean, he has Rock Nation that should be plugging him with a lot of influencers and stuff, Anyways, I'll check you guys later. It's Jordan Tower, JT News.